Take me back to my room and tell me this is where failure lives, where failure
Bada bing. We then go into Great. Like I said at the summary of the record's about like is represented as like a long conversation. And just like with any conversation ever, like you can be talking about one thing, but sometimes you'll trail off and talk about something else. If the record is a blanketed conversation, it goes with shots fired. It's basically like it's her fault, and then back to back is like, all right, maybe it's my fault, and maybe this is a mistake. Maybe I need her back. And then Great is saying, maybe music is what I need. And that's why it's placed at this point on the record. So it's a way to like step away from is it you or is it me or whatever. It's just a way to step away from that for a second and be like, I need to talk about myself with no relation to this breakup. I have another video where I talk about the music for Great because it was the first full-on demo I ever made. I got into recording music just to make this song. I believed in it so much, and also I had no idea how to explain to somebody what the heck I was trying to make. So if you want to watch the behind the music or whatever on that, it even goes into like the idea of it or whatever. So on this video, I'm just going to go over the lyrics essentially. So as an overview, lyrically, this song is kind of about, it's like a middle finger to depression. I'm writing this triumphant song when I'm at rock bottom. And it's saying, it's almost like not only telling you what I want, but it's also begging. And this song can get me kind of emotional. There was a time where I thought I'd be the best. Laying out a rhyme to a feeling that I gotta get off my step, never settle for less. When I wrote my first song, which was Castle in the Sky, like I was so not only immature but also like blinded, being like I could do music. And then like as time was going on, I lost that faith and whatever. So but regardless of that, music for me now has become more of a communication device than it is just to create bops or whatever. For me, I use it to tell my story and to capture a feeling that I'm having. And so that's essentially what I'm saying. So I could take it to another level that might scare you. A crack in a structure otherwise well put together. Because that's where I fit in my niche. You're never going to hear the half of it. So this is me basically saying, like, I'm, like, improving. Like, I'm only getting better at the music thing. In fact, I'm fucking great at the music thing. Pun. And it's almost like, when I say it might scare you, it's just kind of like the haters type of deal, but it's not. It's just, again, it's more of a middle finger to, I guess, depression. Because if I maybe succeed in what I want to succeed in, maybe I won't be depressed anymore. When I say a crack in a structure otherwise well put together, that's like either in the music industry or even just me as a person, like who I am. I just fit in the part that's not supposed to be there. Because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm the enigma. Like I'm not supposed to make it in anything. I'm not supposed to be anybody. I'm not supposed to be a somebody. So that's where I fit. When I say in my niche, it's almost like saying like because it's not even supposed to exist. I don't even have a niche. I can do whatever I fucking want. Take me back to my room and tell me this is where failure lives. And I'll say, what gives, motherfucker? What gives? As I mentioned in the overview, at this time I'm living in my mom's basement and I'm unemployed. And that's really the basis of where this song is written from, is in that feeling, in that moment. And it's exactly how I felt. I felt like a failure. This is me trying to write a triumphant song from the place of absolute rock bottom. With my heart on my wrist, covered with my fist, so I can clench my world between my knuckles and marvel at the way it crumbles. Now you know. So there's like that phrase, with my heart on my sleeve, which basically means like you're basically telling all of who you are on the outside of your skin. Like you're giving your all, you're not hiding anything. So heart on my wrist is a reference to that metaphor. But then I'm saying that I'm covering it with my fist because I'm still scared and vulnerable, even though I'm trying to I'm telling you like I don't give a shit about anything. It's me also saying like, but I do. I'm not lying to you. I'm scared, and I'm fragile is what it's saying. So I'm clenching on so tight to my world so that you won't see it, that it crumbles and it breaks. that astounds me that it's so easy to do that. So it then will only prompt me to want to become stronger so that I don't break that easily. I know that's a lot packed into 2 lines, but that's where I was at when I wrote it. And if you don't, then take a note, read it slow, or you'll never know where I'm going to take you. My lyrics, I've put a lot of thought into them. And for me, it's important to me that if you just look at my lyrics on a piece of paper with no music, it still makes sense. It's still like a cohesive idea. And you get what I'm trying to say without all of the melody tricks or the production tricks. It's poetry. It's a story. And you should be able to read it and understand it without me having to throw all this shit in there too. You could take me down a notch, but you wouldn't like what I'd have to lose. That line's one of my favorite in the song, just because people misunderstand it all the time. They think that it's me saying like I've got a lot to lose, but it's me saying I don't. I've already lost it all. So you'll just be disappointed with how little you've changed me. You could take it all if that's what you'd like to choose. So get it straight, don't get it twisted. You want my shot, you want to bend my vision. Well, it's my choice, it's my decision, it's my way. I just want to be great. That's just banging in on that idea that you can't change anything. You can't stop what's happening. There's nothing you can do. Because I'm going to try to push through no matter what. And I just want to be great was the whole idea behind the song, was just saying like I'm tired of feeling like a fucking loser. Like I wanna feel like proud of something. So I created this triumphant jam, baby. I wish I knew how to relax, and I wish I knew all the ways to say all the things I think without feeling like I ain't doing the words justice. Constantly I worry that, especially in music, that I'm not representing myself correctly. Like I wrote the first half of this song and obsessed over it for like 5 to 7 months and didn't write anything else. And then finally, after almost a year of not writing anything on this song, I wrote this second verse about how I was scared that the first half wasn't good enough. That I was scared that people wouldn't understand what I meant by the first half of this song. And so instead of going back and rewriting it, I was like, you know what, I wish that I could just chill, you know? I wish I was able to do that. But I trust this and I embrace redundant. I say that because if I'm saying shit you've heard before, fine. I'm happy with what I said. And if it could have gone without saying, I'm glad I said it anyway. But I suck at showing compassion unless I'm delved deep into my passion. You know. That was a huge issue for me at the time because I was so focused on my shit and my breakup and my depression and my whatever that I was horrible at listening to other people who needed me. And instead of listening and just being there, I would just write songs about it, you know, like as if I truly cared, like, which I did. Like, instead of showing them that I truly cared in that moment when they needed me, I was like, well, I mean, I know that you're going through a lot, so I wrote a song about it. And it's like, that's not what they needed. And I don't want it to reflect what I show, and if I need more, maybe I'll grow out of it. That's just me being hopeful that I'm still young. You know, I wrote this at, 21? So, like, it's just me being hopeful, like, yeah, maybe it's just a bad habit and immaturity that I'll, you know, brush the rust off, you know. I think it's cool to stand idly by watching you surprised, gleaming your eyes impressed by this masterpiece I'm making. Because, like, I knew that now that I had a second verse, like, this song was a jam. At least to me it was. So it was important to me that, like, it's a masterpiece to me. And this record I'm making is incredible. Because this part was written, this is one of the last parts written for the entire record. And I felt at that time like, yeah, I created a masterpiece. But I feel like you won't gather the heights I'm reaching, not because you're dumb, but because I sneak right by the feeling. It's me saying you don't know what's next because I'm not telling you what's next. Maybe this is it. Maybe I make this record and I quit, or maybe I continue going. I don't think I'm much better than nothing, but I know someday I'll be something. So you can take my record and you can claim it or maim it, but it won't stop my feeling that I did it my way. The biggest pride I can take from this record was that I did it almost entirely all on my own. Aside from the help from Rewire Recordings, who produced it. I was like, no matter what, you can tell me that this record is garbage and that you hate it and that I should quit. But at least I did what I thought was good. We did that. We did. We'll move on to the next song. Hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you.